All right, folks. Here we go again. First of all, let me give you all a little update. I told you both my channels got just destroyed. We are trying to figure out what to do in order to start another website, a website that helps, support this ministry and what we do here. But we are under fire, obviously. We're being destroyed. But they can't really destroy our YouTube thing unless there's, well, I'm not going to give them the avenues. But anyway, we're safer here on YouTube, so we're probably going to be running stuff out of YouTube. I'm going to put down in the description box if anybody wants to help support this effort, how to do it. I will not monetize what I do. I was told not to. When the Lord called me to service, He told me I could not sell one thing. It was all by His hand that He would do it. And I've been doing this now for 5 years maybe. And He told me that He would take care of it and to trust Him. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'll put all my trust in Him. Nothing here is monetized at all. DVDs are free. Everything's free. If anyone wants to help, God bless you. Thank you. But the way we used to get help was our two websites. Anyway, so we'll see what we can do. I'll give you all, if you want, I'll give you a P.O. box at the bottom or a way to help try and support this effort. Now that I've said that, get ready. Pay attention. Pay close attention. This is going to blow your minds. This will explain the veracity of the DNC and all the killings. Why are all these people dying associated with Hillary Clinton? Sam Ash from the, United Nations, right before he goes testifies, they said he had a heart attack, and then they had to change the narrative because his throat was crushed. And they said, oh, he dropped a stack of weights on his throat, lifting weights at his home. Okay. Yeah, and, the other guy that was, part of the DNC that was murdered on the way to, give his testimony to the FBI. And all the, the 90 dead people surrounding Hillary Clinton and Obama, it's just amazing. Well, the stakes have to be very high, don't they, to be killing all these people. Well, let me show you what the penalty for treason is, okay? Let's just look at this. Whoever owing allegiance to the United States levies war against them or adheres to their enemies, giving them aid and comfort within the United States or elsewhere, is guilty of treason and shall suffer death. Okay, death, or shall be imprisoned. But death penalty is what you get for treason. Let me just scroll down a little bit and show you what the penalty for treason was, in the Constitution. This is very fascinating. Watch. We the people, of the United States, the brutal and horrifying penalty for treason. Now, you make sure you watch this entire video because it's got some surprises in it. You're going to want to watch this whole thing. Remember, you're never too important to be hung for treason. In the late colonial period, as today, the charge of treason carried a particular intimidation and stigma with considerable potentialities as a political epithet. At the time of the drafting of the Constitution, treason was punishable not only by death, but by an exceptionally cruel method of execution designed to enhance the suffering of the traitor. William Blackstone in his commentaries observed that the punishment for treason is terrible in that the traitor is hanged by the neck, then cut down alive, that his entrails are taken out and burned while he is yet alive, and his head is cut off, and that his body then is divided into 4 parts. Okay, this was, at the drafting of the Constitution. Well, we know that things have gotten a little more civilized since then, but we know that just straight up, the penalty for treason is you can be hung for treason, like the Nuremberg trials. You will be hung by your neck until you are dead. if you have sold out your country, you have acted on the behalf of the enemies of your country. So, you know, it's a pretty serious thing, right? You wouldn't want to be caught for treason. Yeah, that's a very, very bad thing. There it is, right there. I just showed it to you. Let's get rid of that window. What you're going to look at, what you're looking at right here is, I'm going to give you a website to a guy named Bill Still, and I'm going to use a video of his, and I'm all credit to him. This is very powerful. You need to watch this. We're going to look at Bill Still's video. I'm going to take this whole thing right here. I'm going to copy paste it in the description box. You should read this. Read it. Read it. Okay, now do y'all know, first of all, no one knows where Barack Obama came from. His birth certificate is proven to be a total fraud. I've done video after video after video after video to show y'all there are all the inconsistencies in this guy's identity. You know, I had some of them shot down off YouTube, as a matter of fact. They took some of them down, absolutely. Now, whether or not y'all know about this next segment, I'm going to make it short, but go do your homework on this. So there's actually $30 billion that Obama has funneled to Iran in cash and gold. And, you know, our department, our congressional oversight committee and some of the people in our Congress are going like, he did it in cash and gold. He tried to destroy a paper trail. Why would you do that? I mean, if you had a legitimate payment to anybody, why don't we just say, hey, this is what we did it for. Here's a legitimate payment. Let's listen to when this started breaking loose. Y'all remember the $400 million? I do. Do y'all remember it went up to 1.3 or 4 billion, and then it went up to $30 billion in cash and gold, like a drug deal? Weird. Yeah. You ever wonder why Hillary is so untouchable? You ever wonder? You know, you got a Loretta Lynch protecting her, telling Comey to stand down. Who do you think Loretta Lynch works for? Obama. So, you know, Obama's out campaigning for Hillary right now. Why? I mean, you can't do that. I mean, Harry Reid said under the Hatch Act, he could, that, you know, maybe James Comey could be convicted of a crime because he reopened the case against Hillary, trying to infer that he's trying to use his influence in the FBI to gain a political outcome for, you know, Donald Trump, which is insanity. That Harry Reid's he's a filth bag. Filth. Why are they all protecting Hillary? Well, what's going on? What is all this collusion to protect Hillary, to make sure Hillary gets in? Hillary's got to get in at all costs. Because the reason is, once the rats get caught, it's all going to be treason. And they're all going to be caught for treason is what they're going to be caught for. Not just collusion, but I'm talking straight up treason. Yeah, that's what's going on. Now, of course, do y'all know that I've laid my neck on the chopping block to bring you all this information? Do y'all understand that I've laid my life down? That by doing this video, I literally said, I don't care about my life. I don't care what happens to me. That's what I've done. To warn y'all. That's what my life's been about since I got saved. Warn others. Don't worry about your own life. I'd rather live on my feet than die on my knees. So, that being said, let's listen to this real quick. Let me turn the volume up. There it is.
Iran, we are learning details. The Obama administration sent $400 million to Iran. We are learning details tonight of new payments, not once but twice, with a total of $1.7 billion in cash being paid to Tehran. Critics have called the money a ransom payment in exchange for 4 American hostages being held by Iran. But the Obama administration maintains it was simply paying back money owed from a failed arms deal in the late 1970s. You know, the interest was running, so we had to cut that check, or hide that currency and send it in weird bills. Tonight, Hillary Clinton was asked about her involvement in the nuclear deal with Iran.
Okay. So Hillary Clinton's being asked about her involvement in this thing with Iran. Y'all know who Matt Lauer is, right? Matt Lauer, right here. Well, Matt Lauer did an interview with Hillary and one with Donald Trump. They each got 30 minutes, but guess what? Matt Lauer did not stick to the script because Hillary was given a list of what she was going to be talking about, and Matt Lauer decided to go off script, and I'm going to show you that. And I'm going to show you the result of what people said, and I'm going to give you all this writing right here. You need to go read this. This will be in the description box. This guy right here, I'm sorry, I want to make sure I get his name. Get Bill Still. Bill Still. So Matt Lauer is asking Hillary Clinton some questions. Now pay attention. Listen to what happened. Now let me ask you this question before you listen. Are you afraid of being hung by your neck until you're dead? Just a regular person. I mean, the only reason you would fear being hung by your neck until you're dead is if you had done something that warranted it, correct? I mean, I don't fear being hung by the neck till I'm dead. I guess if a bunch of evil government stays in like Hillary Clinton, I could be one of the first people hung by the neck until I'm dead because they would consider me against them. So they, the way these people roll, they kill anybody that's against them. That's why I've laid my life down, because I know these people are evil, evil, evil people. And in order to do what I do, I can't care about what they're going to do to me. Otherwise, I would never be doing what I'm doing. Understand? Okay, so now, let's listen. This is a great segment. This is really good. Let's go ahead and enlarge this. Please take a moment to read what's on your screen. A nation can survive its fools, and even the ambition, but it cannot survive treason from within. An enemy at the gates is less formidable, for he is known and carries his banner openly. But the traitor moves amongst those within the gate freely. His sly whispers rustling through all the alleys heard in the very halls of government itself. For the traitor appears not a traitor. He speaks in accents familiar to his victims. He wears their face and their arguments. He appeals to the baseness that lies deep in the hearts of all men. He rots the soul of a nation. He works secretly and unknown in the night to undermine the pillars of the city. He infects the body politic so it can no longer resist. A murderer is less to be feared.
Clinton appeared separate Commander-in-Chief. Good morning. I'm still reporting on the Clintons. Remember the September 7th Commander-in-Chief forum where Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton appeared separately but back-to-back for 30 minutes each? According to an email forwarded to us late last night and originated from a Comcast email address, the technical crew for NBC, which produced the event, is now speaking out about what took place moments after Clinton walked off the set.
Okay, I'm going to stop and interject for a second. He is talking about the technical crew that was there filming the thing, that was there, the technical crew, the cameras, the audio, all those guys. They are speaking out about what took place.
Massive profanity-laced tirade aimed at NBC's host Matt Lauer. It turned out that Clinton had been fed all the questions for approval in advance of the forum. But then, after the approval process, Matt Lauer had a change of heart and decided he would start his questioning with an unapproved line concerning Clinton's use of an illegal private server for her sometimes classified work-related emails.
Let me ask you something ahead of time that I'll ask Mr. Trump in a half an hour. To the best of your ability tonight, can we talk about your qualities and your qualifications to be commander-in-chief and not use this as an opportunity to attack Mr. Trump? All right? And I'll ask him the exact same thing.
I think that's an exactly right way to proceed.
Okay.
I want to stop and I want y'all to notice her body language. I mean, just look at her when she speaks. I'm sorry, but that is a face of someone that is putting on a complete sham. It's so obvious. I mean, when I watch her speak, I'm just like, it's embarrassing to watch her. For me, I'm embarrassed when I watch her. I am. I'm like, oh my gosh, this lady's a psychopath. Anyway, I'll let you guys decide. Let's just keep going.
Very important decision for our country, and each of us should be presenting our experience, our expertise, and our plans to protect and defend the United States and our allies around the world.
What is the most important characteristic that a commander-in-chief can possess?
Steadiness, an absolute rock steadiness, and mixed with strength to be able to make the hard decisions, because I've had the unique experience of watching and working with several presidents.
So judgment is a key.
Temperament and judgment, yes.
The word judgment has been used a lot around you, Secretary Clinton, over the last year and a half, and in particular concerning your use of your personal email and server to communicate while you were Secretary of State. You've said it's a mistake. You said you made not the best choice. You were communicating on highly sensitive topics. Why wasn't it more than a mistake? Why wasn't it disqualifying if you want to be commander-in-chief?
Well, Matt, first of all, as I have said repeatedly, it was a mistake to have a personal account. I would certainly not do it again. I make no excuses for it. It was something that should not have been done. But the real question is the handling of classified material, which is, I think, what the implication of your question was. And for all the viewers watching you tonight, I have a lot of experience dealing with classified material, starting when I was on the Senate Armed Services Committee, going into the 4 years as Secretary of State. Classified material has a header which says top secret, secret, confidential, nothing. And I will repeat this, and this is verified in the report by the Department of Justice. None of the emails sent or received by me had such a header.
Director Comey.
Well, we all know that that's not true now. What you just said is a big, screaming, fat lie. We all know that. We know that Patrick Kennedy tried to bribe the FBI into changing some of the emails, and we have all that going on. And we all know that because of WikiLeaks, that it was proven that they were classified emails. So she's lying through her teeth. She's a complete sociopath. She's lying. And we've got it proof. We've got proof she's lying. Let's continue.
He also said this after reviewing all the information. He said, there is evidence to support a conclusion that any reasonable person in Secretary Clinton's position should have known that an unclassified system was no place for that conversation.
Well, Matt, I just respectfully point.
According to a Comcast official, the parent company of NBC Universal, who apparently was quoting those on the set, when Matt posed the one legitimate question about the FBI investigation concerning her homemade server and the unsecured emails, we could see she was beginning to boil. According to an NBC associate producer of the forum, as soon as Clinton got off the set, she exploded. Hillary proceeded to pick up a full glass of water and throw it at the face of her assistant, and then the screaming started.
Pause. So, now she's gone off stage in front of the technical crew. She's having a complete meltdown, and she starts cussing at everybody. She just got through saying steadiness and self-control. She just said that, didn't she? And she's throwing a glass of water in one of her aides' faces, and she's cussing at everybody. Here we go. Keep watching.
She was in a full meltdown, and no one on her staff dared speak with her. She went kind of manic and did not have control over herself at that point. How these people work with this woman is amazing to me. She really didn't seem to care who heard any of it.
So judgment is a key.
Temperament and judgment, yes.
You really had to see this to believe it. She came apart, literally unglued. She is the most foul-mouthed woman I've ever heard. And that voice at screech level, awful.
So judgment is a key.
Temperament and judgment, yes.
She screamed she'd get that effing Lauer fired for this. Referring to Donald Trump, Clinton said, "If that effing bastard wins, we all hang from nooses."
We'll stop right there. Ha ha ha! She said if that effing bastard wins, talking about Donald Trump, we all hang from nooses. There's your gun right there. That's the smoking gun. That is why they will stop at absolutely nothing to accomplish what they have to accomplish. Because their necks are on the line. They know they've committed treason. Why would you say, if that effing bastard wins, we will all hang from nooses? Now, I want to show you something real quick. When you look at this, when you look at this, synopsis of what was talked about on this video, which I'm going to post, it's, when they were right there, quote, she was in full meltdown mode, and none of her staff dared speak with her. She went into kind of a manic and didn't have any control over herself at that point. You had to see it to believe it. If that effing bastard wins, we all hang from nooses. Lauer's finished, and if I lose, it's all on your heads for screwing this up. So anyway, so this is the narrative that's going on here. But then it says, her dozen or more aides were visibly disturbed and tried to calm her down when she started shaking uncontrollably as she screamed to get an executive at Comcast, the parent company of NBC Universal, on the phone. Now look here. Then two rather large aides grabbed her and helped her walk to the car. She's a meat puppet, people. The Obama administration has this one in line. They're to prop up the continued destruction of the United States. These people are enemies of the state. Matt Lauer was massively criticized for the rest of the week on the air by the Clinton campaign and the rest of MSM, having conducted, quote, an unfair and partisan attack on Clinton. That's insane. These people are insane. Let's look at that again. I want to hear him say it again one more time.
Screamed she'd get that effing Lauer fired for this. Referring to Donald Trump, Clinton said, "If that effing bastard wins, we all hang from nooses. Lauer's finished, and if I lose, it's all on your heads for screwing this up." So crooked Hillary fears the gallows, eh? Interesting.
So judgment is a key.
Temperament and judgment, yes.
Her dozen or more aides were visibly disturbed and tried to calm her down when she started shaking uncontrollably as she screamed to get an executive at Comcast, the parent company of NBC Universal, on the phone. Then two rather large aides grabbed her and helped her walk to her car. Matt Lauer was massively criticized for the rest of the week on air by the Clinton campaign and the rest of the MSM as having conducted an unfair and partisan attack on Clinton. According to the email, calls were made to the New York Times, the Washington Post, Huffington Post, and Twitter executives with orders to crush Matt Lauer. One staffer on the Clinton campaign told the NBC staff that they all fear Clinton's wrath and uncontrollable outbursts, and one described Hillary as an egotistical psychopath. Since Hillary does not allow any staff to have cell phones when she is in their presence, no footage is available. Interim DNC Chairman Donna Brazile, the first black woman to hold the position, was singled out by Hillary during the rant. She screamed at Donna, "I'm so sick of your face. You stare at the wall like a brain-dead buffalo while letting that effing Lauer get away with this. What are you good for, really? Get to work, janitoring this mess. Do I make myself clear?"
So judgment is a key.
Temperament and judgment, yes.
A female NBC executive said that Donna Brazile looked at Mrs. Clinton and never flinched, which seemed to enrage Hillary all the more. The executive continued, "It was the most awful and terrible and racist display, such a profane meltdown I've ever witnessed from anyone, and I will never forget it."
So judgment is a key.
Temperament and judgment, yes.
That woman should never see the inside of the Oval Office, I can tell you that. She was unhinged and just continued to verbally abuse everyone. She was out of control. Why did Lauer ask his rogue question? According to sources close to Lauer, because the American people deserve an answer from the former Secretary of State.
Now, having said all this, why aren't I 50 points ahead?
Here's your problem. Someone set this thing to evil.
I'm still reporting from Washington. Good day.
Oh my gosh. That was Dave the way. You gotta love it, man. Oh my gosh. Yeah. That was let me show you. So again, the question is this: if you've done nothing, why would you say you're going to have a noose around you? Where she said, let me quote that. Let me make sure I got this right. She screamed, she'd get that effing Lauer fired for this. Referring to Donald Trump, Clinton said, if that effing bastard wins, then we all hang. Right? Read it for yourself. We all hang from nooses. You see what kind? Now you know why there's stonewalling at every juncture in this investigation crap. Come on. Come on. It's elementary at this point. Okay, now once again, guys, because our websites are dead, they're literally, all the work that went into these websites has been destroyed. So I'll give anyone that wants to help support this effort, while we maybe try and just figure out how we're going to host a new website. But we're going to have all kinds of security protocols. Boy, it's a lot just to think about it. I don't think we have very long left, though. You know, to be honest, y'all know this isn't going much further, right? We know all hell's about to break loose. So put your trust in Jesus Christ. If you haven't gotten saved, you must surrender to the Lord God through Christ as your Savior, and you will be restored to a relationship with Him. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to point you to the real Christ, the Christ that's in the Bible. If you want to see the real Christ, turn everything upside down and backwards, and you'll see it. I'm going to do my next video on that very exact subject. If you want to see the real Jesus, the one in the scriptures, the one that when you see him, you will know that you are saved. Not some nebulous, ethereal, religious, ridiculous concept, but you'll know that you know that you know, and that's what I've been trying to show people. And that's why the Lord gave me specific gifts, and those gifts allow people quite clearly to see the supernaturalness of His working in this ministry. It's not me, it's Him through me. So anyway, we've laid down our lives. All our necks, those that are true believers, our necks are on the chopping block because we believe. All glory to God.